Okay, so I'm going to just go through a quick rundown of how to edit some things on the pages. So that some of the content now. There are two different methods of editing. There's the front end editor and a back end editor, or there's also the classic mode. What I'm going to show you is both the front end editor and the back end editor. So when I say front end, I mean that you can edit things directly on the page as you see it. So you can change the text on the page, just like on here. And I'll go show you the front end editor right now. It takes a little while to load. Okay, so basically the website looks exactly the same as it did before. Sometimes it may look a little bit different. You can see the Twitter thing is won't load up as on the Visual Composer as it should, or WP Bakery we called it. So basically this is the same thing as the website, but now it's offering me choices for editing. Okay, so this is, I'm not going to actually edit this page. I will just show you a quick few things that you can, so you can understand how it works. Okay, so for instance, I can select, and you see there's a handlebar tool, you can shift things around. So if you're not happy with that wording and you wanted it perhaps over here, you can add that there. I can move it back, but we don't want that underneath the contact us, we want it back here. So basically we can shift things around. Now, as for this contact page, contact form, that is actually a form that needs to be adjusted within the plugin called WP Forms, which I will show you in the back end of the website in a minute. But we're currently in the front end. So you can administer changes. This is how I've been working when I want to change just this text. Now, you will notice that it comes up white. There's not a lot I can do about that, but you can actually change that text. You can see the text within the page in the back. If you go to the text instead of the visual, you can, of course, double click on the text and you can see it's there. So currently the 3.9 billion tonnes, because we messed about with it so much with the font sizes and things like that, I ended up having to make that heading 4 font size, because it was the only heading font that wasn't being used elsewhere, and I didn't want the 3.9 billion, I wanted that to be rather big, so unfortunately, to make life easy, I had to make that heading 4 font. Okay, so you can basically go in here and say, you know, change things. I will do this trillion. Okay, would be nice, 3.9 trillion tonnes. So then it basically reloads the page. You can also change the animation of all your items on the page, and it will show you as you do it. It will give you a little thing. I'll save the changes there. Don't worry, these changes haven't taken place at all. Rubber band, it's a pretty cool one. That just draws attention to that actual statement on the page. So that's why we do animation, basically to draw attention to certain elements on a page. Okay, so if I was to save that, I would need to select update, and then the page would be updated. You need to wait till there's a little green bar here, and there will be a little circle thing running. The little green bar here will say successfully updated, then the website page is completely changed. That is the front end editor. I will show you another page. We're going to leave that because I don't want to save that, because we don't have 3.9 trillion tonnes. Now, so I'm going to go to one of our pages. What I might do is the global drivers for higher grade concentrate, only because it's got a few icon info lists. So these are set up as an info list. That's how we've got this whole thing with the little red dot and so forth to tie in with our look and style. Okay, so what I would like to do You can change the text just in this, just like we did before. We'll just go to the bakery. But as you can see, in the bakery, the info list, it's not giving me the page title or the icon, the info list page heading, which is what you will need to be able to see. So for that, so you can make changes in here. I will just show you how to do a link quickly. So if we wanted to add a little bit of text, an ASX announcement. Alright, I'll just write ASX announcement. So I want to put a PDF file attached to that. I can use this hyperlink. Don't use this one. This one's a page scroll link. That's for anchoring. So that I'll show you that in a little while too. Okay, so I'm going to add a link. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up here and add another page. Magnetite Minds. Alright, now I'm going to go to the back end of that website. Then I'm going to go to our images and PDF files so that I can find, I'll just use this one here, PDF file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to copy the URL of that PDF file. And I'm going to add that because I want the link to, if any PDF files, make sure you set up as a link to a new tab so that if someone goes off and has a look at that ASX announcement and they close it straight off, they're still on your website. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I'm just going to add the link, save changes. Okay, so now there's an ASX announcement link there. And I will, without saving this page, I can actually click on it to see if it's working. And it is. So we can see that that works. Okay. So that's another thing. Now I'm going to show you how to edit this information here. And it's much easier using the back-end editor. So I'm going to leave that page because we don't want those changes to happen. So this is the back-end editor tool. So this is taking you to the page itself with the back end. So now you can see that the info list has items. It's got the headings. There's one info list at the end which doesn't have a heading. That is just the bottom red dot. So you don't even need to worry about those. Okay, so I've decided I might like to change the information in here. So I'm going to go in here and I'll just show you how you can so you can click and drag. Oops. I think it's because I'm trying to do a video at the same time and it's having a hissy. Okay, so you can click and drag, make that window a bit bigger if you want to see it. Make sure you don't go too far off the page. You won't be able to click save. Oh, I might have to move it up again. Okay. There we are. Okay, I'll just might close it off and try again. Got a bit carried away there, too far down. There we go. We'll just click and drag it down a little bit so we can see a little bit more information on the page. Now at the top here, this is what I've had to do to try and get the space between the heading and the text because otherwise it won't work. I did try to set it up in the typography by adding more line height, but then if the wording went over on the mobile device, if it was too long, it just looked weird because there was too much space between the two, like the heading words. So I've actually had to add a gap in here, and I'll just show you where that is. That's a gap there. You can instantly, and you can change it to whatever you want, just like that. So there are some short codes there for adding dividers and gaps. I wouldn't use the other things. Tooltip you don't really need to use unless you were adding a link and you want to make sure that a tooltip is when you sort of, as you can see, these things have got tooltips. So the wording that comes up explains what the icons are. That's what a tooltip is. Okay, so I may have decided that I don't like this picture anymore, and we want to change it. All I need to do is click on that. You can add media if you want to add another picture, but you can click on the edit tool. You can select replace, and we might go with the big image, replace, and it will only fit to that page. But you can click on that and you can change its size if you want to. Okay, now to add new media, say for instance I want another picture underneath there, I can add the media. This, now we wanted to put that other picture back. Hang on, there it is. So we just select it. You can upload new files. You don't necessarily need to select, so you can upload a new image and just give it a few seconds. And there's the image coming up. And we can save that. I'm not going to save this page, but you can see so what you can't do on the editing tool. Unfortunately, it is to get the info list the way you wanted it, I had to use like to get this exactly how you wanted it, I had to do it this way. This is reasonably easy to make changes and cut and paste text over. If you're having any issues, you can go into the code itself, but you probably don't need to at any point in time. Okay, so that's how that works. To make the changes stick, you again need to set the page by updating it, which I'm not going to do because we don't want to make those changes. So that is the back end and the front end editor. So I'm going to go leave the website again. I actually might just go back to edit page here. I'll just show you the classic mode. It's not something I use because basically it will turn all of this, which is set up in boxes. As you can see, these are set up in boxes according to what needs to be showing. Now these, believe it or not, these items here actually belong to this box, but because we've set them so far to the right, they sit in here. And these items actually disappear on mobile devices to make it easy to read. That's just your company announcements and that contact us button down the bottom. Now, so if I was to put it in classic mode, it comes up as gibberish, which is because it's set up with a tool called a Visual Composer. That's what the VC stands for. So I always use either the back end. I'm going to the front end now. I use the back end or the front end editor to make changes. Okay. I think that's where I'll leave that one.